So could you give us 3 useful IT words or collocations, or maybe idioms, that would be helpful for English learners and for programmers as well?
All right, great. So I guess the first thing, it's probably you heard about it. It's called a bug. So if the program doesn't work properly, right? If its functionality is broken, we call that the program has a bug. Right? So this program is so hard to use because it has so many bugs, for example, right?
And the word bug, yeah? There are many meanings of the word bug, but probably this is not the primary meaning, yeah?
It's actually, that's why I want to give you a story why it's called a bug. So a bug is this small insect that we probably all know of. Beetle, I think it's a synonym. So why is it called a bug? So back in 1950s, when those first computers were created, so those first computers were huge. They took whole rooms were taken by those computers. And once one of those computers didn't work and they didn't understand what was going on, they started, to look inside the computer, and they literally found a bug inside, like this insect, little animal. And from that point on, they started to call, like when some malfunction happens, they would say it's a bug. But that's, where it came from, which is an interesting story.
But there is another meaning of the word bug. Probably if someone is bugging us, it means that it's like hearing us. And I see that some people are bugging us, but they are just viewers probably. But on the other hand, on the flip side, they're bugging us. So they have bugs, and if it's our private conversation and someone, another person can be bugging us, yes. So it's the third meaning of the word bug. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know. Well, I am talking about the IT and context of programming. And if we talk about this word bug, there is also another word to debug, right? Maybe you heard about it. Like programmers say, I need to debug a program, and usually it means that you sort of need to examine the code. You sort of run the program slowly, kind of line by line, and just see where the problem is, where this bug is. So you debug a program.
Maybe the explanation would be to identify a bug.
Yes, it's to identify a bug. It's more or less a good explanation, but sometimes you debug a program just to understand how it works better. So it can be used in this context. But yeah, debug is that's the thing that every programmer does, and everyone knows.
I see.
So, all right, so what's the next one? So the next one is feature, right? So maybe you probably know this word, but in context of programming, we say that if the program has some rich functionality, it has some, like let's say, on Facebook, let's say you can send messages to many people at once, right? So we can say Facebook has a feature to send multiple messages to multiple users, right? So it's like a sort of a piece of functionality that the program has. And usually when we, as programmers, when we create our programs, right, we create a list of these features that the program should have. So in context of Facebook, that would be like you can send messages to one user, send message to many users, you can add friends, and all of these things. So these all would be features. So
what about in everyday life? Because I think that the feature has a lot of other meanings, yes?
You tell me, you're the English teacher.
Well, I'm an English teacher with a feature. With many features, yes? So I can what? I can talk, I can hear, I can read, I can listen, I can write. So features can be like a facial features or features of character. Yes, probably in this context, everybody knows the word feature.
Yeah, so it's pretty much similar in context of programs, but it's just something that we use all the time, right? When we write our programs, like there is always a word like what features this program should have. So it's a very commonly used word among programmers. Well, and the last one that I've got is what do you do when you write your code, you write a program, and then it's ready for to go live and for users to use it, right? So when that happens, we say we deploy it to production, right? So to deploy it means to kind of like place it somewhere, right? That's what word deploy means, to place it at some place. And we say production is because this is a production environment. So usually when we write programs, there are different environments. There is a test environment. So test environment, that's where the program is being tested, right? So if I just created some program, but I'm not sure if it works good or bad, I usually give it to testers, but it would not be available for every user, right? It would be available only for people who will test this program. And once they test this program, it's good, it works fine. Only then we release it. So we deploy the program to production. And again, that's a thing that is used very often for your program, to deploy a program.
Deploy a program can be deployed in the system. Yes. Deploy some troops.
Deployment, like it's a noun. It's a deployment. Yeah, and it's good that you mentioned in military. This word is pretty common.
Yes.
The troops are deployed.
Association with militaries, with some ships, with the troops. Yeah. Programmers also took this word.
I'm not sure where it came from.
So maybe primarily from programmers could be.
Well, I'm not sure. I guess military, the word existed probably before programming came.
No, definitely.
But I mean, the word deploy basically it means to place it, right? Place something at some place, and I guess that's why it's used. Because you place your program in the production, in the place where real users can